Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to the Moscow region. Finally, I'm not in Moscow today, and I thought I'd come and see some live sport, in particularly rugby, and Russian rugby. So sit down and relax, enjoy the video. If you're wondering where I am right now, I'm actually in a town called Monino, and this is in the northeast of Moscow. About an hour or so by car outside of Moscow. I actually came here by train from the center, and we're here to see a round of the PARI Russian Rugby Championships between the local team. Now, I'm going to refer to them as Monino throughout the video. However, the team is called VVA-Podmoskovye. If I've got that wrong already, I'm sorry. The opposing team is actually a Moscow-based team called Slava Moscow. So this is pretty much a Moscow derby, if you like. Now, I am a little bit early before the match starts, so I'm going to go for a little bit of a walk around and show you what Russian rugby looks like. So throughout the match, I am going to say Monino and Slava Moscow as the two different teams, because to say VVA-Podmoskovye, it's a little bit of a mouthful. The actual location where the match is here is very much a suburban area in Moscow region. They've got a scoreboard up there, and we are 45 minutes before kickoff. The actual match itself is being shown live on Match TV, which is the very well-known sport channel here in Russia. So it's actually covered on television, and they also stream it on the internet as well. They've actually been here setting up well before I got here, and currently the two teams are out doing their warm-up drills and training session, I guess, at the same time. So I really hope you'll find this video interesting, showing you Russian rugby. Now, there is 8 different teams in the championship, and there is teams here in Moscow, and there's teams over in the far east of Russia as well. And this is the first time I've been to this particular ground. I actually came with a friend who's also doing photo media for this. So it was really nice. We got to come here together, and now I know how to get here myself for future games. I'm actually an Australian who lives in the Moscow region. I'm probably about 2.5 hours away from where we are right now physically. And I hope you like this type of video, showing you something a little bit different from my typical supermarket tours. But we're here at a typical rugby match instead. For the actual match today, there is no tickets required. It's free entrance. Sit where you like, enjoy the game. Russian rugby for me is very much a family-orientated sport. The camaraderie between the two teams is very high. They all know each other. It's not a very large and popular sport compared to things like football or ice hockey in Russia. And as you can see from the stadium here, this is like any community football field that you'd see anywhere in the world, even beyond Moscow. There is actually a smaller field right behind here with some football posts as well. And then the apartments that you see are the residents of Monino who live in this immediate area. And as for the weather, they have predicted rain for the entire afternoon. And hopefully it'll be a little bit nicer than what it is now. One thing I do ask of everybody watching is perhaps let me know in the comments where you're from, and do you watch or support rugby as a sport? I know from doing a previous video there was a lot of people from particularly the top 5 or 6 rugby nations who watched the match. I can see the analytics of all the videos that I put on the channel, and all of the countries that have got the bigger rugby teams where all the viewers were from watching. And I'm just very curious of everybody watching this match or this video today, where you're all watching from again. As is very normal when you come to any event in Russia, the DJ likes to put the volume up on the speakers a few notches higher than it's really necessary. I think perhaps it's to pump up all the players as they're doing their practice and their drills before the match. So I will try and adjust the volume where possible so it's not coming across too loud in the background. Also, YouTube doesn't particularly like music playing as well, so hopefully it's going to be okay. My only real goal of the video is to try to catch a try. Now, they're of course doing their drills right now, and they're practicing lineouts, and hopefully I can catch at least one try on camera. Now, there isn't a lot of people here. That's going to get in the way. They're doing their line-out practice. It's really interesting because the players for both teams have Russian players, and they also have players from South Africa and from Georgia. So they're at some points in the match doing translating of the things that they're going to do. Let's see, one more line out. Very cool. Quite possibly today we're going to have 3 seasons in a day with the weather. It's now blistering sunshine as I walk around the pitch. Now they have predicted rain, however, the clouds have gone away a little bit. I've come down to the end where the home team is doing some drills. So there is the 2 different groups here. There's ones that are doing the drills right here, and then the guys that are doing the lineouts on the other side. But currently, I'm basking in the sunshine. Although I have accreditation and I'm wearing the photo bib for the match, this sort of game that I've come to say today, there is not too many rules about where you can stand and where you can sit, as long as you're not on the pitch, basically. So it is very helpful to get a little bit closer to the players, but at a place like this today, it's not really a big deal. If I was at one of the larger football stadiums, absolutely, you need to get the accreditation, but for community sport like this, I don't think it's nearly as necessary. The way I think the supporters sit here is the away fans sit on the opposite side of the pitch, and then the Monino team fans have the grandstand. So there is a couple of Slava supporters right here, definitely coming to support what would be the away team. Very cool. If you might have watched my original rugby video where I was actually at Slava Stadium in Moscow, but it was 2 away teams that were playing there. There was a very passionate lady in the stands who was screaming for the whole match. And I love it when you come to matches like this where you just need a few very dedicated fans who love the game. And it just makes for such a nice atmosphere at a match like this today. I thought I'd try and do one walk around the field before the start of the match. And the Slava team is doing the line-out practice here as well. Very cool to see and to be just that little bit closer to the players. And just look at the background. I'm hoping the clouds are going the other direction. Let's see. There is also some more Slava fans over here in the corner. This gentleman on the left we actually saw coming from the train station, and they've set themselves up in the corner over here. One thing that differs a lot with going to football and then coming to rugby, it's a lot more pared back and a lot simpler. However, there is somebody here with some merchandise, and it's actually stuff that's rugby generic, so for all the different teams. So it's really nice. If you do want to come to a match, You can get a scarf or some kind of souvenir. They've even got fidget spinners as well. And then t-shirts. So even though we're at a very much community-orientated sport, there is still some dedicated people who genuinely love rugby. It's around about 10 minutes till kickoff, and the DJ is playing a little bit of Phil Collins remixed, and the home fans are filling up the stand. Now I'm fairly sure that we will have some rain on and off at some point. And this middle part here is for the officials and for the referees. And then the Slava dugout, that's what you quite loosely call it. And they've got all the trainers here. And they're doing their last huddle before the start of the match. Maybe a little bit of last minute tactics based on the weather. So the match ball is in place. And all of the officials are almost ready. The actual teams are just changing their kits from their training gear into the match gear. And everybody is almost ready for the start of the match. And they've actually lowered the music down just ahead of time. Oh, there it goes again. No worries at all though. So the reason I'm smiling right before the match, one of the Slava Moscow trainers actually recognized me, and he's one of my subscribers, and he asked me, what team am I supporting? And I told him that I'm independent because I'm making videos. He said, today you have to be a Slava supporter purely because I live closer to Moscow, and this is essentially the away team's field. So thank you, George, for saying hello. And if anybody else sees me out and about, please stop me and have a chat and talk about life. Out come the players for Slava. And then the players for VVA, or the Monino team. Now my main goal is to stay out the way here and not get too close to everybody. And of course they've got the music playing just a little bit loud. So with the formalities out the way, the match has started. Now, with rugby, it's a little bit different to football or soccer in that there's a lot of back and forward. And very typically, I'm going to be at the opposite end of seeing some tries or some goals. So I'm hoping that I'll see one at the end that I'm standing, because every time I walk up to one end, the ball comes down the other, and vice versa. Actually, for now, Slava just had a penalty kick, which I think they missed. There is a few more fans at the VVA end. Everybody really wants to be undercover over there. And there is officially 3 photographers here, and I'm one of them. So there's a line out in favor of VVA, and it's only a few meters from the touchline. Let's see if we're going to see right here, or a few meters away. Wow, very close. Come on, they're going to the far corner. The crowd, and the noise has gone up a little bit. There he goes. Oh, it's coming out wide to me. Maybe not. There's a possibility I might catch a try right in front of me here. Very possibly. Out wide. Oh! Wow. Okay. No. Try, and the ball's gone down the other end. We've got a line out here for Slava. However, across the line! And a try is scored. Probably not much fanfare. That's what I was expecting, but a try all the same. The last couple of games when I was trying to catch a try was always when the reserve players came down to do their warm-up at the sideline right behind me. And I've been lucky again to catch a try. One of the interesting things, and I only noticed it now when I've been walking around a bit more, is the grandstand right here doesn't actually have change rooms for the two teams, and this is just the club rooms for the actual team itself, where they keep all the equipment and all of the gear to set up for the matches. And then, quite literally, the home team, VVA, is over here under the trees, trying to stay dry for a few minutes. And then also the coaches are trying to instruct their players what to do. And then also the linesmen and umpires are here as well. So everyone's just trying to stay out the rain for a few minutes. These clouds seem to be circling the field. I think for the fans of rugby it's not a problem. And I'm sure people have played in much worse conditions. But this is community football at its best. They actually have the stand set up here for the interviews at the end. So yeah, let's see how the second half goes. The umpires are heading on out along with the players. And I'm going to go back undercover for a little while. So the second half is underway, and in between the showers and the dark clouds, I'm trying to hopefully catch some action. It always seems to be at the other end. It seems to be my curse of trying to catch the action and try to catch a try. So the home team has just scored a try and the actual conversion as well. So, and this is the crazy fans of Monino right here. Pretty happy as they just about to get underway after the conversion. As I try to walk to at least one end and catch a try, no doubt they're already running the other direction, and it's actually fun to come to this other side where all the guys are getting a little bit louder. I mean, this is a small crowd compared to ice hockey and football and going to the basketball, but they're very passionate fans though.
Slava! Zanosi! Slava! Slava! Zanosi! Slava! Zanosi! Slava! Slava! Zanosi! Slava! Zanosi! Slava! Slava! Zanosi!
Are we going to see a VVA try at this end as the rain starts to get a little bit harder? I just want to see one try at either end of the pitch, and I think it's always my luck. The fans on this far side over here are getting a little bit louder. I realize why they're all on this side and not on the grandstand side now. However, that's for another video. I think my lens makes me feel a lot further away than what I really am. I'm really just by the sideline right here. I think possibly another penalty, let's see. No, the ball's come out. And the rain is meant to stop, but it's not. For the last 10 minutes of the match, I'm going to try my luck at the opposite end. And let's see. It's currently 12-7 in favor of the home team. So if Slava can score, then essentially they'll be in front and could win the match in the last 12 or 15 minutes of the game. I think more than the game, the most interesting part really is the weather. The sun wants to come out, and over here the clouds are saying no. And there is a slim possibility that Slava could score at this end now and take the lead. And will I catch it? Now they're set up for out wide passes. Let's see in a minute. So what the plan is, oh, he's over and scored. I was going to say the plan was to come out wide, and he scored in the corner over there. So with the match actually tied, a lot hinges on this penalty kick, and it's just sailed wide. So it's actually tied up with 8 minutes to go. And what's going to happen? With 2 minutes to go, Slava are actually behind by 5 points after a VVA try. At the other end, I've actually taken my lens off because it's become very foggy and the weather's not doing it any favors. Will Slava get over here? Possibly. A lot of defense from VVA. There we go! Well, can we see a last second try? I think possibly we can. And owing to the fact it's a away game, there isn't a lot of crowd reaction. So in the end, there was a couple of tries from Slava and they've come out victorious. Now I am on the field of VVA, so I have to be respectful for the home team. But it was a good match, particularly the last half of the second half. I think always there's more effort when it's a much closer game and a lot more possibilities of scores at both ends of the field. So I hope it was interesting and I've managed to catch a try or two, I think, throughout the match. At the end of the match, the home team are getting together to talk about what's happened, good or bad. And as we've gone literally through all the seasons, the only thing we didn't have today is snow, but we're baking in sunshine now. And it doesn't seem like the same match. There's a few of the people come on to the pitch. Let's see, over at the Slava group here. A good way to end the match. The actual fans that travelled here to Monino are all here together. Very cool. Now, of course, we're about an hour away from Moscow, but the fact that it's an away game and they've won at a away stadium and field, that's quite important, I think, for the fans. So, very cool. This is the coolest part I like about Russian rugby, is the fact that it is family friendly and the players hang around. The kids can come onto the field. Kids want to get autographs and to meet the players. And it's really very different from going to other Russian sports in that it's very normal and very laid back. Players from both teams chatting after the match, and just an all around nice day. So we've come to the end of the video, and the actual stadium we're at is the official home of VVA. However, for quite a few years they've been building a new stadium, and I thought I should come for a walk over and have a look at it. Now, it actually is due to open in the next month or so. So hopefully one of the later matches in the season they're going to host here at this ground right behind me. And this, according to my friend and colleague, this is the first official rugby stadium in all of the Russian Federation. And it's really very impressive. Its capacity is around about 15,000 people. And to see a brand new stadium and all of the infrastructure finished, it's really very impressive, and hopefully this will be open very soon. We can't get any closer, we did ask. We can just see through the fence the actual field and the goals. But I hope you've enjoyed the video, and to go and see some, what I would consider almost community football. And this is the Russian Championships that we watched. However, it's not nearly as big as what football is and other sports. But hopefully with a new stadium, all the things will change, more fans will come, more sponsorship, more advertising, and it can only be a good thing for the sport. I had a good day, despite the rain. It's trying to rain again now, all day long. It starts, it stops, it can't make its mind up. So thanks everybody. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. In the comments, let me know where you're from and how you came across this video. Are you a subscriber, or perhaps you were recommended this video? Because it's really interesting how the reach of videos get on YouTube, and how you came across a rugby video on a channel made by an Australian here in Moscow region. Okay everybody, so my Telegram channel is right here, and then a different video is going to come up right here. You can click this and you can keep traveling with Russell. Okay everybody, I'm off on another adventure. Bye.